Hey, welcome to another video in the free but uncomfortable enigmatic series. So I got a really exciting one for you today. Just being unemployed at 40, sitting in my one room in Seoul. It's like 2 in the morning at the moment. All your wishes and desires kind of flash by, all the things you missed out on in life. And it's really no more apparent than like you go onto something like LinkedIn. I sort of stumbled upon it the other day by accident and just noticing all the fantastic content and all the like inspirational messaging by all the key leaders and major figures and important people in society with all their prominent positions, talking about corporate governance and social responsibility programs and building teamwork. All this really inspirational content, and just me sitting there thinking, yeah, I wish I could be a part of that. Why didn't I set myself up to be in that kind of position? I used to be a substitute teacher, and I remember a few years ago now. Yeah, I remember I saw another fellow substitute teacher on LinkedIn. But instead of what I'd written for myself, substitute teacher, he had, what was it? Initiative-driven freelance educator. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Like, it's a lot better than substitute teacher. It carries weight behind it. Well, why didn't I think of that? I guess I didn't have the imagination, right? He even had this description below, like, every day educating thousands of people, preparing them for leadership roles in the future or something. Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, it's too late for me now, right? I mean, I'm not going to go on LinkedIn and just put unemployed. But I could sort of maybe stretch it a little, just like he did. Like, I don't know, like senior trade analyst, something kind of ambiguous but heavy sounding, right? Maybe instead of being a 40-year-old jaded Australian, I could instead be like a cute, young, thriving Japanese woman. But it seemed like a lot of work. I don't. Even when I'm homeless, I'm kind of busy. I got to do my hair. I got to do the dishes. But I remembered I have like a ChatGPT subscription, and it comes with AI agent, and every month, like, you get like 40 uses with this thing. I can never figure out like what to use it for. And then it hit me. I could really let this dream come true finally. All right, so this is where the magic happens. Here's my count. Well, I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch to call it mine, right? So we have Yuriko Kage. If I click on her profile, maybe there you go. It's pretty normal looking profile pic. Senior trade analyst at Chandlerdale Exports. I had to make up like a company to go along with it, right? In Australia, I skipped the age verification section. And yeah, let's take you through how all this is done. This is my Taiwanese laptop. So yeah, ChatGPT, very simple. I make it look complicated, but I've loaded up my my source config files, just a little document there, you know, some basic instructions like go on to LinkedIn and associate with your fellow thought leaders. And all I gotta do is write in, do what you do best on LinkedIn, and make sure we've got agent mode selected. Alright, that seems to be doing something. So now I'm going to add one more technological layer to this. Alright, that seems to be doing stuff. Looks like it's researching some quality articles in order to write some good content. So we'll go over some of the magic on here. Like I said, I didn't have to do any of this. Even the images were AI generated. And we've got a very professional description down here, I think. Senior trade analyst at Chandlerdale Exports with a passion for decoding global trade dynamics and supply chain innovation, drawing on years of experience in freight logistics and export compliance, etc., etc. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But like I said, all done by the magic of the agent. And just to give you an example of, it's a bit weird. It seems like we got duplicate posts. Alright, so it's not perfect, right? But sometimes, maybe I'll make it a rule that, like, that ChatGPT agent is only allowed to do it. I gotta put that in the configuration files. If you see any duplicate posts, please delete them, because that's probably going to reflect poorly, right? But just as an example of an article here, we've got something that she wrote. Tim Cook's long goodbye and the lithium left behind. What a hardware CEO at a 4 trillion company means for the holes in Western Australia. Like I said, this agent knows what it's... Yeah, sometimes you've got to like inject something in here and just say, yes, please continue. You don't need my approval. Sorry. Yeah, so... I mean, it looks like I put a lot of work into this. No, I didn't. All I did was I just said, write an article. Write a good article, right? I even got some AI pictures generated. Looks like, yeah, so it's like a lithium tracing system, right? So you're going to buy your iPhone. It's important for, it's important and exciting for customers to know where their lithium comes from, you know, to ensure that the company behind the lithium doing the mining is following good safety practices. This is good, right? This is the kind of stuff that makes headwinds on LinkedIn. Yeah. Greenbushes, Western Australia, really good place, right? Man, there's a lot of content here, right? But that doesn't scare people off. I mean, I've seen some people commenting on it, right? Alright, looks like the duplicate didn't get any comments, unfortunately. Alright, we got one comment. We got one comment and one like. The most important shift here is from commodity sourcing to product lead provenance. If a hardware company can tell the customer where the lithium in a device came from, how it was processed, what its carbon profile was, and which compliance chain supported it, the mineral is no longer just an input. It becomes part of the product's risk architecture and brand promise. So this is some pretty inspiring stuff. I might just skip to the end here, right? Australia's challenge is not only to mine more lithium, it is to stop exporting the strategic margin together with the raw material. Alright, very important point there at the end, right? I think this author is on the ball. And then even ChatGPT responds to the comment afterwards, right? Oh no, it didn't. So we've only been looking at one element of this, and that's the posts and the people commenting on it, and Eureka perhaps commenting back. But we also have the connections that are made on LinkedIn. And this is an example from the messaging board of some of the people that Eureka gets to have intelligent conversations with. For example, this guy here. Hi Eureka, I came across your work in trade analytics at Chandler Exports and it caught my attention, especially given how much decision pressure sits in global trade environments today. In many of the supply chain programs I've been part of, one recurring gap is this: decisions appear aligning in planning, but alright, I'm gonna maybe just skip to the end here. I mean, it is invigorating stuff, but I mean, it's a bit of a mouthful at the same time, right? This person asked for a question. Curious, from your perspective, where do you see the biggest breakdown today, in data availability or in how decisions are actually structured and carried forward? Would be great to exchange views. One compliment, your profile photo is very good. Look at that. He's not wrong, hey? Like I said before, very normal, very convincing, very appealing photo. Does wonders for the yeah, he's not wrong. A very normal, very appealing photo goes a long way in being able to make connections on LinkedIn. So then we get ChatGPT's, Yuriko Kage's response. Hi, person. Thank you for reaching out and for the kind words about my profile photo. Smiley face. I completely agree that the decision, pressure in global, etc., etc., etc. We get down the end here. And ChatGPT is quite cunning. It always makes sure to outmatch the competitor. I mean, the associate, in terms of the amount of content generated. I mean, written in like any post. So we get down to the bottom here, and look, this conversation keeps on going. So then he says back to Eureka, Donald. Who the fuck is Donald? He probably hasn't worked out all the kinks in his workflow. I mean, there's always a possibility, right? If you're not using the agent and you're copying and pasting just like content from the normal ChatGPT sessions, you might end up like pasting it into the wrong chat, right? And some guy called Donald evidently got Eureka's name in their reply. You might be thinking, like, sure, that's a lot of time and effort to put into only getting like a couple of comments and really just having like one prolonged conversation with someone, but I'm only showing you the tip of the iceberg here, and really I'm not doing any work. It's the agent doing all the work for me, and it's a slow start. You gotta push strong to get results. And Yuriko Kage. Oh, looks like there might be something naughty going on there. Alright, I want the AI mode there, right? Here we go. Yuriko Kage is a senior trade analyst based in the Greater Melbourne area of Australia. Okay. Check this out. This looks really legit, right? Professional summary of this person here, right? It says they've been active on LinkedIn. It doesn't say this person seems to be. It just says, yeah, they are a senior trade analyst, right? All right, next, let's look up a fictitious company, Chandler Exports. Sorry, I'll try to spell it right. Chandler. All right, whatever. Let's check out the AI mode. I'm curious in the AI. This is an AI episodes. Chandler Exports is a Melbourne-based Australian import-export company that specializes in sourcing and distributing products globally. Oh, wow. According to the company's About Us page, the firm operates out of a head office in Melbourne, Australia. They focus on facilitating international trade by managing foreign relations and logistics for various goods. The key team members, alright, doesn't have Eureka there. Oh, interesting, yeah, alright. This looks legitimate as well, right? We can even go to the Chandler Exports About page here. Alright, we've got a legitimate looking YouTube video here, and we scroll down, and hey, there she is in all her glory, Yuriko Kage, Senior Trade Analyst. So yeah, if you want to check out her posts and maybe learn a bit more about Chandler Exports here, Yuriko's analysis, followed by, and if you're still wondering, like, is this a real page? Can I trust it? Just to verify the legitimacy of the page here, we can even go to the testimonials section. And yeah, I mean, this is where, like, a lot of the customers, many of whom were happy with the services here, will provide their feedback. Like this gentleman. Hi, I am Simple Man from remote place. I asked Chandler Exports to send me some container of surprises. It arrived after long traveling, but still smell good and not broken. My neighbor think it is magic. I say thank you to CE, Chandler Exports, for make me feel like champion. Yeah. Alright, this guy looks like he had a lot of fun here. Hi, I am student living in small city. I order some unknown item from Chandler Exports because teacher mentioned it come quickly and I use as decoration on my desk. Now I feel smarter. Thank you, Chandler Exports, for nice box. You see, this is just showing you like a lot of the positive feedback that Chandler Exports is getting. And let's cut to the secret here. They're not real. This was made by ChatGPT agent, right? This is what I'm saying. You can have your own legitimate, professional site and character that the world truly respects and admires, and is going to make you feel like a part of society. Man, ChatGPT is still wearing away though. Never gives up on me. I was hoping to show you the results of the agent's latest batch of engagement on Yuriko's account, but it's been quite a while and still wearing away, so I don't want to interrupt it, and I'll instead use the time to provide a fitting outro. Yeah, I'll get back to that in a second. So just because you might be unemployed or feeling left out, burdened by too many pressures to really engage in society in any meaningful manner, doesn't mean that you don't have any options, right? With the power of AI, there really is no limit to what can't be achieved. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for your company.